Hello, everyone. This is Sandy. Wait, was it Chef Handy Sandy and Crafter? Somebody went past my window there. That was the dog rolling across there. I got the dogs outside. I didn't want them to be interrupting me. So, today, I want to teach you guys how to make crawfish bits. This is my goal thing. It's not working. I got to figure it out so I can go live Facebook with it. So today I want to teach you how to make crawfish bits, not crawfish etouffee, right? Crawfish bits is different from etouffee. Etouffee is a little bit creamier, and crawfish bits, the crawfish is inside of the shell, right? So let me get the crawfish out. Which I should have had it out before. So I want you to go and get a bag of these crawfish and some tails from Walmart, right? What we're going to do is we're going to stuff these crawfish heads and make a sauce or a roux or a stew with these heads. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator. Did you see this? It's $15 at Walmart. They're whole crawfish. The tails, the heads, everything. And this is extra tails because we're going to make some etouffee. And you'll see the difference between the two. So this is going to be for the crawfish. This is going to be for the crawfish etouffee. And this is going to be for the crawfish bits. It is crawfish season, y'all. And you know what they do in New Orleans. But since we're here in Illinois, it's hard to get fresh crawfish. So I saw this in the freezer at Walmart. And I decided to, because they're ready to eat. You just warm them up and put them in the microwave or steam them on the stove. And you go to town. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make two different recipes with this crawfish, right? Let me put it back in the refrigerator. It's going out. That's for tomorrow. Today, I want to prep for the cooking, period. I like to prep ahead of time, and I like to do a lot of cooking, as you know. But in order for me to prep, I go through a lot of steps to make sure that I have all the stuff that I need, especially when it comes to seasonings, right? You've heard of Holy Trinity, and Holy Trinity consists of an onion, a bell pepper, celery. I go a step farther. I use a different color bell pepper, right? And then I use green onion and garlic. So, and parsley. So I chop all of this stuff up the day before, or a month, because I chop it all up. I put it in this bowl. I scoop it in small Ziploc, not Ziploc bags, but small sandwich bags, and then Ziploc bags, so that I can save all of my fresh chopped seasonings. So when I'm ready to make my dinner, I have these seasonings already chopped up. Also, what I do with my garlic, right, is I chop up all of the garlic. I use this Better Than Bouillon Italian seasoning. I mix it up with water, and then I put them in these small containers. You can get these off of Walmart. They come two to the container, right? And then you put it in the freezer. You put them in the freezer. These things here, you put them in the freezer. And when they're frozen, you turn them over. Right, you don't want to work with them. You turn it over and you knock all of the frozen garlic into this container here. And then you put them in Ziploc bags and you put them in the freezer. So when you get ready to cook, you just grab a bag of chopped seasoning and you grab a couple of cubes of garlic. So tomorrow when we begin to make the crawfish bits, right? All I want to do is grab the seasonings and the garlic, and that's taken care of. I don't want to chop. The whole time that I cook with you guys, I do not want to chop up this seasoning to get prepared for whatever meal I'm going to make. So I'm going to go through how to make a roux. I also want to teach you how to make infused oils. So I've already started with the oils, right? I want to do this first so that you can see how to make infused oils. You use regular pots, right? And you're just going to put the oils with the herbs into the pot, and you put it on a very low heat, just so it can warm up and you can smell the aroma of the herbs. I think I might do another one. Because I saw that I had some time. Yeah, so I bought these from Walmart. Some rosemary. I love rosemary. Some basil. I'm going to make basil and garlic. And thyme, and garlic. Rosemary by itself. And basil and garlic. I love those three. And I like to make my own infused oils because when I cook, I like to use my olive oil to coat the pan. So I infuse my oils so that I can coat the pan when I cook. So just use extra virgin olive oil, right? And it's getting so expensive. It really is. But it's a slow burning oil. And I think, I'm more than sure you can do it with vegetable oil or canola oil. But let me get another pot out too. I like to do it with olive oil, right? Because it stays longer. Now, when you make these olive oils, right? When you make these olive oils, they last 30 days on the counter and at least 60 to 90 days in the refrigerator. So, just so you know, these infused oils last a long time. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me get another pot. Since I decided that I was going to make an extra one before we make the roux, right? This is so crazy how I got to use this doggone tripod to do everything and gather everything. I'm going to have to turn everything around. So let me get all the pots. Let me just get all the pots and bring all the pots here so we can. So I measured it so that it wouldn't be, because we have to put all of the herbs in here. So we're going to just take, I got these from the dollar store, rinse them out. Also, when we make our roux, we're going to use these mason jars. Because once you make your roux, you put it in the mason jar in the refrigerator, and you can just take your roux out of the refrigerator, or even It's flour and oil, so you can even put it in your cabinet for 30 to 60 days. But you take your roux out, you get a couple of spoons, throw it in the pot, throw your seasoning in the pot, and then I also want to show you guys these different Better Than Bouillon. I love these things. It's called Better Than Bouillon. Here, Toya. And each one of them I use for whatever I'm making. This is Better Than Bouillon chicken. This is Better Than Bouillon beef. This is Better Than Bouillon turkey. And Better Than Bouillon ham. I have lobster, mushroom, Italian seasoning. And this is what I'm going to put into my garlic. So, before we make the crawfish bits, not crawfish etouffee, I like to prepare for the setup so that I won't have to do all of this stuff. We go bam, 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 and we done. Like to cook fast. So, preparing this stuff, we're going to keep the Better Than Bouillon Italian seasoning, right? We're going to keep that because we're going to mix that up with the chopped garlic and then put the chopped garlic in the cubes and let that freeze. So tomorrow, when it's frozen, I'm going to take a couple of those cubes out, put them to the side, take a bag of chopped seasoning out, put it to the side, and then we can just bam, bam, bam. I took these out because I wanted to show you that this little jar of Better Than Bouillon makes, this is ham, makes a lot of great stock. It's like a stock, right? Chicken stock, turkey stock, beef stock. It's like a stock. But you only need, and it tells you right on the top of the top, how much you need to a 1 can or 8 ounce can of regular broth that you would buy or stock that you would buy. So I keep these because I like these. And so when I'm making like a chicken, stew chicken, right? And I make the roux, I will dilute some of this in some water. And once the roux cooked to the color that I want, I just add the stock that I made with this into it to give that chicken, that stewed chicken, some flavor, right? So I have like tons of it. Let me go get it. And I can put those back. Let me show you. So I have tons of it because I love it. I love this stuff. So this one is lobster, and I usually make my crawfish etouffee, and I might even put some bits. I'm not going to put it in the bits because I want to show you how to make a crawfish bit stock, right? This is chili base. This is mushroom base. This is anjou, like when you're doing a roast and you don't want to do a gravy, you can do the anjou. Add some water, teaspoon of this, and even a half a teaspoon of that, and then some water. And this is the chicken with no veggie. It's a veggie chicken stock. So I am going to keep the Italian one, just so you know. This is what I use. This is all of the stuff that I use when I make my stock. This is a lot of stuff, right? It's a lot of stuff to make a stock with when I'm ready for it. So I just buy this. And the only place here in Illinois that I know that has all of these flavors, I don't even know how to pronounce this. But it's, oh my God, it smells so good. And I put it in a couple of my gravies. So I use this. It lasts a long time. It's another thing. The cubes, the first thing when you know you got a good base to make a stock is when you look at the ingredients. If the ingredients has what's on here, chicken, the first thing that you see in the ingredients is roasted chicken, then salt, or this is turkey. It would say roasted turkey, right? So they use the actual, well, this is a stock reduced down to a paste, So they actually make the stock and reduce it down. That's what I love about this. There's something else that's the little cubes that you can buy in a box. Don't get that stuff. Leave that stuff alone. If you have it in your kit, throw it away. Just throw it away. That's nothing but salt. That, I don't know what other kind of flavors they use with that stuff to make it. Just throw that stuff away. So let me put this up. I don't want to drop. Let me put this over here like this. And then I can carry it over. I'm going to carry it over in a few minutes. I want to start with making these infused oils, right? So we got the olive oil in the bottle. We're going to pour the olive. Look how dark and green. I love this olive oil. It's expensive, but I love it. So you're going to pour the olive oil into the pot. I'm going to do rosemary by itself because I love, 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 love some rosemary. So I'm just going to throw the rosemary in the pot, right? And I'm just going to put it on the stove. Very, very low heat. Put this on the stove. And then we're going to do thyme and garlic, right? So we're going to put the thyme, dump the oil in. And then we're going to put some thyme in. Thyme is so good, so good. Imagine you using these oils to start off with your cooking, right? And I'm going to use, ooh, that thyme is just popping. That thyme is popping thyme. So here we go. We're going to put maybe 4 cloves of this garlic. I think that should be enough. 6. Let's do 6. Let's do 6 cloves of garlic, right? Okay. All right. So we're going to put this on the stove on a low heat. And then we're going to do one more basil. These herbs that I am using, these fresh herbs that I'm using, basil, oh my goodness, I don't like the way that looks. So I put basil in my mashed potatoes, right? And I make a basil butter too, because I love basil. Basil is really good. I make a Alfredo sauce, a fresh Alfredo sauce with Parmesan cheese and heavy cream and some basil. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to put the oil in there. We're going to put garlic in there as well. Here's the oil going in there. Right? So while this is, I'm going to put like a couple of garlic pieces in it. All right, so now I'm going to go turn on the stove. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see the stove. So I'm going to go turn on the stove on very low heat. Come on now. There we go. There we go. There we go. So now we're going to turn all of this down. Because we do not want this stuff to burn. We just want it to sit like tea, right? There we go. So we're going to let that seep in and just let it cook very slowly, very lightly. Do not put it on boil. Do not put it on high. Don't speed it up. You need to let those herbs soak into that oil and grab all those aromas. And then once you finish, you stick everything that's in that pot inside of that bottle and you cap it up. You can leave it out on the counter for maybe 30 days and then, or put it in the refrigerator for 60 to 90 days. But then now, wow, you have your herbs, right? You have your infused herb. Simple, simple, simple. You can do this with anything. It looked like somebody just walked. I could have sworn I saw the child. Look, I got cameras now. Could have sworn I saw somebody walk past a thing. So, all right, so we're going to take these and put these over here. Because I want to come back to the, I smell it all on my hands and stuff. So now I'm not going to cut the seasoning up just yet. I want to do these, the garlic right quick. So let me put this back into the basket here that I have in my prep sink. We're going to put this stuff back in. And we're going to, I got to put that up. And we're going to deal with the garlic. Because I want to get the garlic out of the way. That chopping is a lot. Wait a minute, something is too high. All right. That one was kind of going too fast. I don't want it to go burning and stuff. You can hear it. Yeah. That's it. Just a little bit more on that low fire. I heard it. I heard it. You don't want it to burn. You don't want it to sizzle. You don't want it to cook. You don't want to do anything. You just want it to be very, very slow. Right? So now let's get to this, this garlic. Because with this garlic, I like to put it in these ice, and I think I got so much of it that I'm going to have to take out these too, just to make sure that I have enough of these things to fill up that big container. I am going to leave some though. I am going to leave some garlic. Let me get a Ziploc bag. I'm going to put it in this Ziploc bag because I like to have extra garlic for stuff. That's enough. Alright, so now I'm going to dump this garlic in my chopper, right? Chop up this garlic. I hear it. Yeah. Okay, 2 of them I turned off. 1 more still got to get a little warm. You do not want to hear no sizzling with that. You don't want to cook that. You want to just seep it like tea. Let it get hot like tea and then seep it. So this is what I'm going to do with this garlic. I want to put this Italian seasoning. See that? That better than bouillon. It has in here. Let me take what they got in there. So it has roasted garlic already, onions, sugar, olive oil, spices. Now, that is not telling me anything with spices. Onion, garlic, bell pepper, and all these other names that I can't pronounce. But this stuff smells good. So I'm going to use this small one. No, I need to use this one. So I can use this. Let me put this here. Let me get this here. Get some water in it. I don't want to use too much water, right? Because I want to just flavor up the garlic. And plus, just wet the garlic. We just want to wet the garlic so it can freeze. So I'm going to use a whole tablespoon, maybe a heap of a tablespoon, right? And I'm going to stir that Italian seasoning up. Right? And I'm going to dump it into this garlic. Now that that's all mixed up, look, let me tell you something about seasoning. Matter of fact, I got some spices that I have to put names on that I made. And I want to put my top on it, and I want to put my name on them, but I made some spices that I want to introduce to you guys. So hopefully I can be able to introduce all to you guys my spices that I made up and their names. So put a little more water in. Now I can't tell you exactly. I want to see that. Wow, we have come through. Okay, don't worry about it. Let me take these glasses off. So I can't tell you exactly how much water I put in here, but the consistency is a little thick. Right? Let me put a little bit more in. Just a little bit. I don't want it to be runny, but I don't want it to be watery either. So all I'm going to do here is just start spreading this inside of this pan. Just putting this garlic inside of this pan. And it looked like I'm going to have enough for just those two ice trays that I have. Let me cut this one off now. All right. Now the herbs are in the pot. I cut them off. They're just going to sit there and sip like tea. And just suck up all of those aromas. Right? Into that. And before I chop the seasoning, everybody know how to chop seasoning. So I'm not going to chop the seasoning just yet. I'm going to go move on over to the roux. Right? And let's make the roux and put the roux in the jars. Get the herbs in the jars. And then we could chop up the seasoning later. Right? Let's just get I think the big things, because I don't know if anybody know how to preserve your garlic. Garlic does not last long in your freezer. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even a month, right? But I like to put my Italian seasoning with it and then look like this is going to be one tray. Okay. So, it looks like one tray, y'all. I had this whole thing set up to where I can put my camera down and watch me chopping, and that thing just didn't want to work for me. I'm still trying to get it together. I really am. I'm trying to get it together. I hope you can see me doing this. I'm trying to get it together so that I can have the camera over there by the food when I'm cooking, and the camera here sitting down when I'm chopping and preparing the food. And then one looking at me straight ahead when I plate the food so you can see it. So it looks like, I don't know, it's pretty full, right? And I still have some left. All right. So this is pretty full. I can do like a half a tray. So I'm going to scrape some of this off the top and put it in there just to make sure that it's all even. Now I've already done some. I bought a new batch of garlic, so I wanted to make sure I got this out of the way, because I don't like cutting garlic up doing it when you're getting ready for food. I don't have much left, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here, and then get the rest of this. And that's it for that. Don't need to chop anything else up. You know what? I'm making wings tonight. So I'm thinking maybe I can rub some of this garlic on them wings, child. And I got some jerk spice that I made. I think it's a little bit too spicy. So I got to watch how much of the spices that I put together. And this jerk seasoning that I made is a bit spicy. So I got to cut back on how much cayenne I put in my spices when I do my spices, because I have a Cajun spice. And it's not that spicy. So here we go. This is going into the freezer, right? And then tomorrow I'll have this ready and the stuff that we're going to chop up tomorrow. I didn't need these, right? So now we are going to move over to making the roux. Now, there is a peanut colored roux, a little darker roux, like if you want to do a beef, right? And you use the beef broth, the stuff that I told you about. I'm going to put that stuff up too. Go back in the refrigerator. And then there is a blonde roux, like when you're making Alfredo, and even with the etouffee, I like to make a little blonde roux and then put some heavy cream in it and then some tomatoes so it can be an orangey looking color, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to make one roux, and I'm going to make that peanut colored roux. So let me put this back. And I'm going to move the oil over so that it can do its thing and set. And then we're gonna funnel that oil up. And we'll have our oils together. So I am going to move. Let me put this up. I don't need this anymore. And we're going to move over to the stove. Let me get my pot holders out, my pan holders out. For the Oreos, I'm going to put this inside of this is for the chopped seasoning. So for my Oreos, I'm just going to put these pan holders right there. Look at that. Oh, that thyme smells good. This is the rosemary. It smells really good. I should have put garlic in there, but that's okay. And here's the basil. Oh, yeah. Y'all, when y'all do this, I'm telling you, once you make these Oreos and you sit them in the refrigerator or sit them in the on the stove, when you get ready to cook, and you want to use some Oreos, olive oil is the healthiest oil you can use, okay? So if you want to have some good infused herbs, you can use red peppers, you can use peppercorn, right? Anything that you want, and do this, and then put them in a bottle and sit them on the stove or put them in the refrigerator, you know? And you got your herbs. Right? And you just pour it over the pot and you start cooking and stuff. I don't suggest you do it for breakfast or anything like that. So I'm gonna bring you over here to the stove and we're gonna go ahead on and start making that roux. And then we're gonna put that roux in a jar. And then we're gonna start with the chopping. And then after we done chopped up everything, we're gonna get ready to make that crawfish bits tomorrow. It's a process, the crawfish bits, right? So we have to take, now don't forget now that I showed you earlier in the video that I showed you the bag, this whole, let me get the thing, let me show you. These are at Walmart. The whole bag. Let me open this little booger up. Right. They're already seasoned. Like you can tear this up right now and tear this stuff up. It's so good. So here's your crawfish. already has its tail. I can't because I eat it. When you're from New Orleans, child, you smell this stuff. You smell this stuff and you're ready to tear it up, right? It's from Louisiana. It says Louisiana crawfish. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to peel the tail back, right? Put it back in there because we got a lot to do with that. Then we're going to clean the inside of this crawfish like this. See how I'm cleaning the inside of that crawfish? I'm putting it back in the bag because we're going to make a stock out of these crawfish heads. Right? We're going to boil these heads and we're going to make a stock out of it. So we need our crawfish heads. Now, people that don't like the stuff to look at you, you can always cut the head off right here if you don't want eyes looking at you when you're making your food, right? But it's going to be good. And then we're going to take and we're going to stuff these heads with the tails. But it's a process. You got to have the chopped seasoning ready, your Holy Trinity, which I'm going to chop last. And then you have to make your roux, right? And then we're going to go through the whole process tomorrow. So you're going to have to tune in tomorrow or check the video out tomorrow. My grandson is coming tomorrow. He's 4. That's a handful. And he'll be here for 4 o'clock. So I'm thinking that I might make this tomorrow noon, so that I'll have this done. You can always come back to my Facebook page and look at how I did this. I will be posting the ingredients and the steps, everything I'm going to post. I tried to post it doing live, they wouldn't let me do it. So this is what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to make crawfish bits and then I have the tails. We're also going to make crawfish etouffee. There's a difference between the two, but not so much of a difference. The tails have to be like you make meatloaf, and then you stuff them, right? And then you make something like an etouffee, and you put the tails in there, the heads in there, and bam, you got it over rice. So it's almost the same, but for me, when I make etouffee, I use a little heavy cream. Just a little bit, not a lot. With the crawfish bits, I kind of sort of like the heads to color the gravy. So when we make the bits, you'll see, but it's some work, right? And we're gonna clean these heads, put them in some water, boil them, the claw, everything. We're gonna do everything tomorrow. Maybe noon tomorrow, we're going to do everything to make this crawfish bits and then make the etouffee. Now, the purpose of this channel is to make sure that I bring you some stuff from New Orleans that you've never done before or heard before. And you've heard of the crawfish etouffee, but you never heard of the crawfish bits, right? So, oh my God, that crawfish tastes so good. So now we're going to make this blonde roux. Once I get my camera together, y'all. As soon as I get my camera together, I got 3 cameras, and I don't know how to sync them yet. So once I sync them and it be in my kitchen, then you'll be following me all over the kitchen. But right now it's crawfish season. I'm going to have to not see y'all talking so I can see. Okay, wait a minute. So I can see. All right, so we're going to make the roux. Cast iron pans are good. I have cast iron pan, but I want to use this. This is I love these pans. If the handles come off, right? See there, the handles come off, but I like these pans. So I'm going to use my olive oil. But I'm not going to use the good one. I'm going to use my olive oil blend. This is a blend with sunflower. So I'm going to use my olive oil blend. I want to make a lot, so that's a good little bit. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see. That's a good little bit of olive oil. But then also what I do, is I like to put plant-based butter in my roux. So this is what I use. It's a plant-based butter. See there? It's Country Crock plant-based butter, and I'm using avocado, right? So, and I'm gonna put this in a half a stick of this in my pot, and then I'm gonna start making my roux. Never use a metal spoon, right? When you're dealing with metal or you're dealing with cast iron pans and stuff like that, use a wooden spoon. Plastic spoon, wooden spoon. Because metal to metal, that's iron, and that kind of takes away from the flavor of the roux, to me. So I either use a wooden spoon or I use a plastic spoon to make my roux. Because I don't like, especially cast iron, because cast iron is iron, right? It's iron. So you're putting a heavy spoon on that iron cast iron, and you just shooting, and you're scraping, and you're turning, and yeah, you mixing all of that iron up. And you can really taste, especially with a cast iron, you can really taste that iron in it. You know, once you start using a metal spoon or a wooden spoon to make a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon to make your roux, it's a lot better. It tastes a lot better. Now, I do my stuff different. Everybody don't do the same stuff I do. Everybody don't cook the way I cook. But I know when I cook, everything tastes good, and I use all of my seasonings. Now, while I'm waiting for my Earl to get warmed up, right, in my pot, I have my flour to make the roux, and here's the jar that I'm going to put it in so I can have it for tomorrow to make the crawfish bits. I told you that Holy Trinity consists of three things. Three things. Bell pepper, celery, and onion. I go a step further. I use all three peppers. I love the way it looks in my food. And each one of these peppers have its own unique taste. So when I cook certain things, I only use certain one of these peppers for certain things that I'm going to cook. But when I'm chopping everything up all into one with the parsley and green onion, I use all of this to make my seasonings for all of the food that I cook. So my stuff is starting to bubble. Let me turn it around a little bit. And then after this, I'm going to put let me turn it down. There we go. All right. My Earl is sizzling. I'm going to go ahead on and put my flour in. I might have to put more in there, but let's start off with this right quick. Try to get this all incorporated, all thickened up and stuff. Don't use a metal spoon. Please don't use a metal spoon. Try to use a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon like I have. And you're just going to keep stirring and stirring until it starts to turn a color and get a certain thickness. And I want mine to be a little thicker. And so when I pour it into there and its color, when I add my stock to it, which we're going to make stock from the crawfish heads, okay? Stock is very easy to make. You can make stock with leftover chicken bones, leftover turkey bones. There we go. So it's nice and it's getting nice and thick. And that's what I want. It's a blonde roux right now. So I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Let me just get it stirred up in there. Really good. And it doesn't take long. It does not take long to make a roux. The key is stirring and stirring and stirring. This is a blonde roux. With this roux, you can do a lot of cream sauces or cream meals like Alfredo. You get a little bit of this roux. Some people like to use cornstarch for a lot of thickening agents. I don't do cornstarch. I don't do cornstarch. It's creamier and it makes your when your food is gets cold, it gives it that clear look, I guess, right? So this is, I'm gonna put a little bit more flour in it, and then we're gonna work on letting it brown, and then we're gonna put it in the jar. That is it. That is all you need to do to make a roux. Stand here and it doesn't take long. That's why I like this pot, because this pot distributes heat very evenly. Use a cast iron. The old way is the cast iron way. You know, frying pan with old way.
Michael Montgomery.
My husband called it, but I'm gonna have to stop him. I should have put that on airplane mode. So, all right, it's really thick now. So now, let me show you. There you go. See there? It's nice and thick. So now what I'm gonna do is all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna stir it until it turns brown. I'm gonna turn the fire up just a little bit. I don't want to speed up the cooking, but I do want to. Okay. Get it out the way. So let me start the oven. I have some chicken wings thawing out, and I wanted to cook that, and he just called, so I want to start the oven. It's gonna take him an hour to get home. I'm gonna go ahead on and season up those wings and throw them in the oven while this get brown. Look at that. Nice and creamy roux. Nice and creamy brown roux. Well, it's not brown yet. This is called a blonde roux. I'm going to have to come up with some recipes for a blonde roux. But the darker the roux, the better the flavor. But you don't want it burnt either. You don't want to burn the roux. You want it nice and peanut colored, light brown, you know, like if you was to buy a brown gravy off the shelf in the store. All right, I'm gonna go ahead on and put this chicken. Let me get it out the refrigerator. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead on and season up this chicken and put it in the pan so that we can have this for dinner. Let me turn it around while we're working on that roux. Now tomorrow, y'all, the crawfish bits. Let me season this chicken up right quick. Because all I'm going to do is just put it in the oven and bake it. Season it up, put it in the oven and bake it. And I'm going to chop up some vegetables. We don't do too much starch here, right? And I use jasmine rice. I use jelly, so I'm gonna put some gloves on. Let me turn this way. I'm gonna put some gloves on to season that chicken up. The dogs are locked out because I didn't want them bothering me. I got these cute little non-stick pans I want to use for the chicken. See how cute? Cute little non-stick pan. Let me dump some herbs in there. Let me bring it over here so you can see me. This is some diced, some onions, some Italian seasoning, some garlic salt, which I love. Right? And some of my Cajun seasoning, wherever it's at. I had no plans of doing the chicken online. That's cayenne pepper. I was going to do that before, but I was running kind of late getting stuff set up. Where is my Cajun? All right, let me check on my roux. Gotta keep an eye on this roux. And you see me? Man, I can't wait to get my camera stuff together. Because I gotta turn you around and have you following me. It's almost there. It's a creamy color now. Nice creamy color. Now you know flour and oil thickens up when you add water to it, but then it gets hard when you cool it off. All right. Looking good. Let me hurry up and season up this chicken so I can put it in the oven. I'm trying to find my Cajun seasoning, and I don't know. I don't know where it's at. So I'm just gonna use this and then put some Earl on it. It's almost there. I'm gonna turn you around to this seasoning. I'm gonna take this Earl with me so I can season up this chicken. So I have, just put a little Earl in here. I have onions. I'm gonna use some of this garlic. Put that in there. And then I'm gonna get a couple of more, some of this seasoning. And you know, cooking is like experimenting, right? It's a Throw stuff in the pot and taste it as you go. And hopefully, now what I did is I put some of this Italian seasoning in. I'm just going to pour it right around on that chicken and give it a flavor. I'm just going to mix it up. So I have Italian herbs in here. I have onion, garlic powder, garlic salt, and some spices. I'm just going to put it on the pan. The pan is let me check on my roux. All right. My roux is the color that I wanted, so I'm gonna show it to you. I'm taking it off the stove, off the heat. I'm taking the roux off the heat because I want to show it to you before I put it in the jar. I'm going to put these chickens in the oven. Oh, you know what else is good? I should do that. I should do that. Let me do that. Let me get rid of some of this juice that's in here. And it's not really oven fried. But when you season up your chicken, you put some, believe it or not, cornstarch. You put a little cornstarch in your chicken. And it gives it a crispy taste, and it really makes your chicken taste good. It enhances the flavor of all of the spices you just put on there, right? I'm gonna put a little bit more. Put a little bit more garlic salt. All right. Just a little cornstarch on it. It's going to come out nice and crispy. You've already put the Earl in the pan when you wanted to toss it. So you don't need to Earl it. It's going to crisp up. Actually, you're supposed to put it on the rack, but we're going to leave it like this. All right, put this in the sink. Take these gloves off. Clean up my mess. I gotta chop this goes over here. All right, I'm gonna put this chicken in the oven because hubby is on his way. And I want to make sure Din Din is ready for him. We put this in the oven. You know what? You see this window here? I think I might, I just thought of this though. I think I might put a camera from there to there. But the kind that moves. See, this is my camera here. This is my camera here. And when you turn it on, it follows you. If I go that way, it goes this way, it goes that way. So it follows you. But it don't want to connect to live. So I got to figure that out. Once I figure that out, then you can follow me all over the kitchen. all over the kitchen. I'll be all over the kitchen and you can follow me. So I'm done with my roux. Stir it up a little bit more. Got that peanut butter color that I wanted. Let me show it to you. Oh man. See, that's what I don't like. I gotta keep turning this thing. So let me show it to you. See that peanut butter color? There you go. It is ready to go in the jar. It's gonna cool off and I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. So all I have to do now is just take a couple of spoons and put it in the pan and my roux is done. So now when I cook, you see how long I had to wait for that roux? I don't have to wait for that roux anymore. I'm gonna put it in this jar. I'm gonna put it in this jar and let it cool. Put it in the refrigerator. And then tomorrow when I go to cook, I will have my seasoning chopped. I would have my garlic frozen. And my seasoning is going to be frozen. I'm going to chop it all up. Let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Just so you know, this is what I do to my chopped seasoning. See all of that? All of that is chopped seasoning. I do a half a cup to a bag. You see that? And that's what I'm going to do with that one. I'm just going to chop all that. I had to show you. I have enough of seasoning chopped. But I had to show you what I use for my chopped seasoning. The onion, the bell pepper, the 4 bell peppers, the parsley, the celery, and the green onion. All that's in here. All of that is in here. I roll it up in a sandwich bag. I put it in this bag, zip it up, put it in the freezer. I'm done. So when I get ready to use to cook, I just take 1 or 2 bags of this seasoning. 1 or 2 bags of this seasoning. The frozen. I got some garlic. Let me show you. Here you go. Let me back it up some. Here you go. Here's the frozen garlic. There we go. So I put that in a bag, right? I only have like 4, so I needed to make more garlic, but I didn't need to make any seasoning, but you needed to see me do the seasoning, right? So I already have chopped seasoning, and I already have some, this is not enough of garlic, that's why I'm making more of the garlic. So you should be ready tomorrow with your seasoning chop. If you want to follow me with this crawfish bits, right? You need to have your roux ready. You need to have your seasoning ready. And you need to have your garlic ready. Because I'm just going to go through there's a motion that you have to go through, or a procedure, or steps, or whatever, however you want to call it, to make this crawfish bits. Right? So I don't want to spend my time doing this. So from now on, when I come on here to cook, this is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to have this ready. I'm not chopping this stuff up and then in front of the camera. That takes too long. And I talk a lot anyway, so I don't want to spend my time on this. Also, I'm going to go YouTubing and trying to figure out how to get these cameras up and running and working so that I can be able to move around in my kitchen with the cameras. Now, I've already saw a video of syncing 2 cameras together where I can have 1 camera there and 1 camera there, and they kind of like sync together. So I just need to look how pretty that roux is. That roux is beautiful. All right, so wait, let me see. I'm gonna have to pour this. I'm gonna pour this. Maybe I can do it like this. Yeah, that's working. Because I don't want it to spill too much. I'm still making a mess. There you go. There go my peanut butter roux. All done. Tomorrow I'm going to show you how to cook rice too. Not steam it, you just cook it. Put a top on it and that's it. So we're going to make Middletown dressing. I know you don't know what that is. Some of you do, some of you don't. If you're from New Orleans, you know what it is. If you're not from New Orleans, it's like a squash. It's called chayote in Spanish. Let me get a spatula out and try to scrape this pan. See why I like this pan? Look at that. I love this pan. The brew came out perfect. The pan is non-stick, so I don't have to worry about this stuff sticking. I run some water on it and it's done. Cleaning up is easy. All done. All done. All right, so let me clean around it. Look, it's getting hard already. Let me clean around the jar. I'm waiting on some labels. I got some labels coming for my herbs and my Oreos so that they will be labeled. I know what they are but just by looking at them. But if you want to do it, you know, you got to label your stuff up. All right, so that roux is done. That roux is hot, but it's done. I'm going to let it sit here on the counter until it cool off. Right, I'm going to rinse these towels and this thing here and this pan. And I think that the Earls are ready to be placed in the bottles. So let's work on the Earls now, right? So let's go back over here. Bring you over here and bring me to this table. And here are the jars. Okay. 3 Oreos. Let's get some Tons. Right? And where is the funnel? It should be over here. Here we go. All right. So, the first one will be, yeah, it's nice and cold now. You gotta let these things be cold before you put it in. I'm gonna sit it on this chopping board. Because a wooden chopping board can always use some oil, right? So we're gonna take the so-called funnel that I had. Do y'all see the funnel? I just had it. What did I do with it? Some kind of cooking channel I got. Can't keep up with my stuff. Oh my gracious. I am so sorry, y'all. Let me see. Maybe I can do... Lord have mercy. Look where the funnel at. Look where the funnel at. That's crazy. It's already in the thing, so let me just do it like this. So now I'm just going to pour... This is the rosemary. Oh, that Earl smells good. So I'm going to pour this Oreo in there. Then we're going to take some rosemary and stick it in there. Let it float around. Let it get some more of that flavor or herbs. Get in there. Get in there, little booger. All right, so that's the infused rosemary. Wasn't that easy? That's all. That's all you have to do to infuse your oils. Just put but you do not do it on the high heat. Please do not do it on the high heat. You don't really need it to be hot. You just need it to be warm enough for the herbs to just soak up in the oil. All right, I'm not gonna fight with that. And then that's it. That is it. Let me paper towel. So clean this off. This is my rosemary. Top it up. Bam. Got my rosemary herb. All right. That's one. I usually sit it on my stove over there. I have some pepper and garlic, red pepper and garlic. So we're gonna go to the next one, which is my. Let's see. We're gonna do the basil. We're gonna do some basil and garlic. I don't think it's gonna go in there with down the funnel. I'm not gonna force it down with the funnel. Let me do this one. Oh, that basil smells so good. All right. Now, I don't know if this garlic is going to fit in there. Yep, it's in there. That is it. Now, I think what you should do, because I was running around doing so much that I didn't keep a close eye on this. But as soon as you see it get hot, turn it off. Turn it off as soon as you see it get hot, because really it doesn't need to cook. It doesn't. It just needs to get hot and then just sit there. That's it. That is it. Let it get hot and then let it sit there. Just let it sit, cool off, and then put it in the jar. And trust me, when you get ready to cook and you want to say like salmon, right? And you want to put rosemary on salmon. This basil, but you know what I mean, yeah, right? So, or you want to cook something and you want these flavors, you can use anything. I got thyme over there. I got thyme over there, and I'm going to put thyme and garlic. This is my basil and garlic, and it's going over there on my stove. And one more. And now you've learned how to make infused oils. So easy, so simple, and will have your dishes tasting fantastic, right? So there you go with these herbs. Now, I want to concentrate. So you saw me make the chopped garlic, and I put a little Italian better than bouillon in to give it some flavor, right? And I showed you the chopped seasoning that I already have chopped, because I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me chop up seasoning. I showed you what I need to chop up. That's all. You know, I'm going to chop this up without being on live. So Here is my thyme. And then I got some garlic that I want to put down in there. And never fill up your jar. Always try to fill your jar up to measure your olive oil so you'll know how much oil you want to. You let it go for right there, and then once you get your herbs in, you can add more.
Michael Montgomery.
I don't know why he keep calling me. I told him I was videoing. That's okay. I hope he ain't stuck nowhere. Lord have mercy. So, all right. Here's the third pot. So with this one, it looks like it needs some more. That's not it. Some more olive oil to fill it up. This is some very thick and dark oil. This, what is this? This is a quart. I didn't see the number, and I can't see. But this is some good olive oil. It's thick, it's dark green. It lasts a long time. You see how green it is? But it's expensive. Olive oil is expensive anyway. So if you want to make some good infused oils, right, you need some good olive oil. I mean, like I said, you can use vegetable oil. You can use blend. Let's see, I use blend too, right? Not on my oils, but I use blend to cook with, right? So whatever you choose to make your, like you can do this tonight, right? You can take whatever seasonings that you have, right? And you just put some oil in the pot. Do not put that on a high fire. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Just put it on a low fire. Turn it off like tea. You know how you boil tea and you turn it off? Well, don't boil this. Just let it get a little warm and then turn it off and let it sit. And let those aromas get into that oil. And then you put what you have in the pot into the bottle, and bam, you have some infused oils that you can cook with. This is the thyme and garlic. I did rosemary by itself, and I did basil and garlic. So you got your infused oils done. I showed you how to chop garlic. I showed you the bag of crawfish. Now the crawfish is at Walmart. I'm about to end this feed so I can feed my husband. I got to get some vegetables and stuff together. I might do some, use those Oreos and chop up some, I got some potatoes here. So the chicken is in the oven. I can get you, these are different color potatoes, red, white, and purple potatoes. I might just cut them up, season them up. Use one of those, see this red, white, and purple potatoes, purple, regular, and red potatoes. They look nice on the plate. Once you wash them, cut them, season them up, they look nice on the plate. You know, the different colors and stuff. And I'm going to put it in the oven with the chicken and season it up with some spices and use one of those oils. I think I might use the thyme and garlic oil. And mix it up with the peppers, with these here, and the potatoes, cut them, clean them, mix some of that basil, what I said, thyme and garlic, and mix it up in there and put some seasoning and throw it in the oven. You got flavored oil. That's what you do. That's how you do this. Flavor up your oil. Don't go buying that stuff in the store. You should know how to do it. Well, you shouldn't know how to do it. I'm not going to say you should know how to do it. Everybody don't know how to do that. That's why I'm doing this, right? Because everybody don't know how to do it. So I'm doing it. So like I said, tomorrow we are going to do the crawfish bits. I don't want you to... what I'm going to do is, you don't need much but the seasoning and roux. Once you have your seasoning and you have your roux and you have your Cajun seasoning, because that's all I'm going to use. That's all you really need, right? The crawfish is seasoned already. So we're going to use that crawfish and we're going to put those heads in some water and we're going to make a stock to use, like I told you with these here. I showed you earlier in the video that I use these better than bouillon jars that I get from Woodman's with the different flavors, and I use maybe a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half of these different ones, and I put it in some water, and I make the chicken and chicken gravy, beef gravy, turkey gravy. I use the roux. I add this to some water. I pour that into the water. This is what I make my gravy out of. Trying to find one. This is lobster, but I'm not using lobster. I'm gonna use the crawfish heads tomorrow. This is mushroom. Well, anyway, there's chicken, there's beef, there's turkey. There's a ton of these things that I put in the refrigerator. I think they have like a 2 to 3 year shelf life in the refrigerator, so they last a long time. So, and I use it for everything. Every time I figure out to do something, I pull out these bouillons and just take a little bit, put it in some water, and then that's my stock, because it's made from stock. It's just reduced. So I take my stock, I make my roux, I chop up my vegetables, I put them all in the freezer. Put the chopped vegetables in the freezer. I did the garlic. You're going to have to go back and see what I did with the garlic, but I took the garlic and I put the garlic, I chopped it up. I put the garlic in the ice trays, right? And I'm going to put these in the freezer. And tomorrow I'm going to dump them in and then put them in Ziploc bags and have them ready for tomorrow. So when I come on to cook something, I'm not chopping seasoning. I don't have time to chop seasoning. I'll figure that out when I get up. I don't have time to chop seasoning. So, that's why I didn't go on it. So I'm going to chop this tonight. You have already seen it. It's in the bag in the freezer. My Holy Trinity is onion, bell pepper, celery. That is the Holy Trinity. But for me, I like to use green onion, yellow pepper, red pepper, orange pepper. What else I'm missing? And parsley. And I chop all of this stuff up, put it in a little small sandwich bag. I use a half a cup to a sandwich bag. I roll them all up and I put them in a big Ziploc bag. And so when I'm ready, I grab a couple of cubes of garlic and I grab a bag of that chopped seasoning and I'm ready to go. So tomorrow when we make the crawfish bits, all you need is the seasoning, the garlic, your crawfish heads to make your stock, your roux that I just did. Let me get the roux. Here's my peanut colored brown roux. See there? There it is in the jar. Everything gonna be ready. It's gonna be sitting there waiting for me to ready to cook. I'm just going bam, 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 and you're done. That's how that goes. You're done. So prep. The whole key is mise en place. You get your stuff together. You chop it all up. You put it in the freezer. When you get ready to cook, you have your roux. You have your seasoning and you have your garlic and you have your bouillons to make your stock. To whatever flavor you're using. If you're using beef, if you're using chicken, if you're using turkey, you have your stock right there. You add the water to those little jars, a little teaspoon of those stuff in the jars, and then you pour it in there and you just let it simmer and it's done. Cooking is really fast if you prep yourself. And I've been doing this since my kids were little, because as a parent, working 2 jobs, I had 3 when they were little. I worked 3 jobs when my kids were little. As a parent, you work and you don't have the time to cook and get rest. So I would go to the grocery store in New Orleans. They have corner grocery stores that have meat specials. And the meat specials would have like pigtails, bacon, pork chops, maybe some neck bones, oxtails, or whatever. And the meat special, they price it by the pound. So you'll get like a lot of meat, but it's like 1 pound of this, 1 pound of that, 1 pound of this, or whatever. And I would come home and I would take the meat and I would put it in Ziploc bags portioned to the meal. I would write the name of what's in the bag and the date, and I put it in the freezer. I would chop up all of my seasonings and my garlic, and I would put it in the freezer. So when I came, and I would make my roux. I would make my roux ahead of time and put it in the refrigerator. So when I come home from work, I would take at night, I would take my meat out, put it in a container, put it in the refrigerator. So I know what I'm cooking the night before because I took the meat out. When I come home, I take out the roux. I put a little roux in the pot. Then I take out my bouillon, what I'm cooking, beef, chicken, turkey. Take this, put it with some water, let it come to a boil. Throw it into the pot with the roux. Then dump in my pack of seasoning, dump in my garlic, put the chicken in there, put the top on it, and go sit down. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to show you how to do this because the reason why I'm showing you how to mise en place first is because when I tell you I'm cooking something, I want to make sure that I have this stuff already done so I can just make the time go faster. I would rather talk than to be doing this stuff. So I'm going to chop this stuff up and put them in bags. You don't need to see it. I already showed you what the bags look like. Put my garlic and stuff up. You've already saw me do the herb infusion. So there's 3 things that you've learned today before we make the crawfish bits. We're making crawfish bits tomorrow, and we're making etouffee. Both of them, because they're crawfish, and it's crawfish season. So I want to show you what a crawfish bits taste like, and what etouffee tastes like, and what it look like. So tomorrow noon, as some people work, so don't worry, you can come back to it. Don't worry about it, you'll see it. But tomorrow, I hope I get these cameras. I gotta figure out how to get these cameras, because I tried. Look, y'all, I tried. Look at that. I tried to have the camera down so you can see me cooking everything, and I had this one over here, and then I had this one over. I had this one over there by the stove. So when I went to the stove, I had it right here. I had a camera right here. I had a camera right here, and then I had this camera. Here's the other camera. Where is it? Here's one. Here's one here, and here's the other one. Here's the other one. So I have 3 cameras, so I'm gonna figure it out, y'all. I'm new to this. I'm trying to do this channel, and I just need to figure out how to get all of my stuff together so I can do. You'll be able to see me everywhere, because you can't see me. I have to move the camera everywhere. So that's the end of this feed. Tomorrow, 12, I'm going to say 12, 1 o'clock. My grandson come here tomorrow at 4:30, and I want to have this done because he's 4, and I want to make sure that I give him the time and to focus on him and play with him and do things with him. So tomorrow, 12 noon, 1 o'clock, I will be coming on with my crawfish bits, right? You should have everything chopped. You don't have to go and buy bouillon. We're going to make a stock with the crawfish head, so you don't have to buy bouillon. Tomorrow, all you need is rice, the tails, and the crawfish in the bag for the people that live in Illinois. For the people that live everywhere else that's watching me, if you can't go to Walmart and get it, and you down south, you can always get crawfish. But if you can't go to Walmart and get it, I don't know, you can do the crawfish tails, because I'm gonna make etouffee. So you can do the crawfish tails if you can't do the crawfish bits. So tomorrow I'll see you between 12 and 1 o'clock, already ready, stuff prepped and ready to go, and we're gonna make crawfish bits and etouffee. So see you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the cooking channel and the things that you know, to get ready, mise en place for the cook. And I hope you learned something, right? I hope you learned something. This is the whole purpose of this channel. So we'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna cook rice and we're gonna do two meals made with crawfish. So I'm gonna end this feed. My husband just pulled up, so let me get these potatoes in the oven. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I saw you come in. I couldn't say anything to you guys. I saw a lot of you guys coming in. So I'll see you tomorrow between 1 and 12. I love everybody. Thanks for coming to my channel. Thanks for supporting me. And I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel as well. Have a wonderful night. God bless you. May God keep you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.